Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to have this week of Les Sserafim because I only need 2 more people to finish with their individual readings. So in this video we're going to do Kazuha, and for those of you who do not know how this type of readings work, we're going to check 4 different sections, which will be her current energy, her career, her love life, and then any healing messages that come through. In the description below I will have the timestamps in case you want to jump around between sections. And with all of that said, let's just jump into her current energy to see how she is doing right now. So let's see, how is Kazuha doing right now? You have Strength and the 4 of Pentacles. 1 more card. Well, maybe 2, I guess. The 3 of Cups reversed and the 10 of Swords upright. So right now it seems like she's a little bit stressed and she may feel a little bit discouraged. With the Strength card reversed, there is a sense that she feels like maybe she lacks the belief in herself. There's a chance that, I guess, with the sense of the word strength, she lacks the strength to do something that she's aiming for. Usually this card talks about not using brute force, but instead using our charms, our skills to overcome challenges and problems. And with this card reversed, I do feel that she may feel a bit overwhelmed with some of the challenges that she's facing currently. She may feel a bit discouraged because she can't overcome this problem, or she may also feel like she doesn't have the skills that she thinks are necessary to even face this problem head on. So she may be hesitating a little bit from doing something, or she may feel a bit stagnant from taking action. Also, the Strength card is Leo energy, so I wonder if she feels a bit overwhelmed with being under the spotlight, or maybe she is so busy working that she can't seem to enjoy herself at the current moment. And one of the reasons I'm saying that is actually because of the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles usually talks about someone that is so attached to their material possessions or money, or in this case it could even be her career, that she is not letting go of it. May it be because she fears she's going to lose something, or because she really values or treasures it, and because of that she is not moving at all. So she, again, this kind of confirms that she feels stagnant somehow, or she's not moving because something's holding her back. It could be her fears, as we saw with the Strength card, and in this case the 4 of Pentacles will be kind of describing that she is not moving forward because she really treasures what she has right now, so she doesn't really want to mess it up. One of the things that happens is that after the 4 of Pentacles we have the 5 of Pentacles, and that card is supposed to talk about feeling there's a lack of resources, feeling abandoned, or being thrown out into the cold. So in this case, I don't really know why she may feel this way, but it seems like if it's related to her money or to her career, right now she may feel like she needs to take care of it very dearly and be very careful and cautious, or else she will lose it all. I don't necessarily know what stage she may be in her life or how her career is doing that she may fear that. I think that Sserafim is so young as a group, and by that I mean like career wise, that I don't really see why she feels her career is in danger. I will understand if she may feel like this if she was like 7 years in, because that's usually when we have contract renewals. But in this case, I don't really know why she may feel like this. If this is connected to just finances and her money, then this is something personal to her, and I still wouldn't really understand that, but it will make sense. But if this is connected to her career, then I don't really know why she has this feeling that if she's not careful, she will lose it all. I mean, she is in Source Music, and I don't really have like the best view of them after what happened with G-Friend. So who knows? Maybe she fears that something like that could happen to her, that all of a sudden she's just like kicked out and dropped from the group or something. I'm not really sure, but that is a possible concern, a possibility. But let's look at the other 2 cards. We have the 3 of Cups reversed and the 10 of Swords. So I mentioned earlier with the Strength card that maybe she's so focused with her career that she's not having fun. Oh, that could also work with the 4 of Pentacles. But let me go back. Now, when I mentioned that, it's because I saw the 3 of Cups reversed, and usually the 3 of Cups talks about hanging out with friends, going to drink, partying, hanging out, and having fun. But with it being reversed, I do feel that she is not really enjoying her time because she's very busy. And being so busy could cause her to do all of this overthinking that we see with this Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords talks about someone that has been thinking about something to the point that is a burden, to the point that it can even physically manifest through stress, lack of sleep. I mean, before the Ten of Swords, we have the Nine of Swords, and that one talks about having a nightmare because, again, that pressure and that stress. And since it's sword energy, we're having people that are thinking constantly about something that's troubling them. The thing about the Ten of Swords, though, is that it's the end of a cycle, so it's like feeling so much pressure of overthinking something before like releasing it. So I do feel that there's kind of like a silver lining there, that even though right now she feels very stressed, she feels overwhelmed, she may even feel a bit stagnant, there is hope that eventually she will be able to overcome that and, I guess, turn the strength upright and have like the confidence that everything will be okay. Now, I want to go back to the Four of Pentacles, because now that I think about it, if she is not really having fun and she's very serious with her career, that could explain why the Four of Pentacles is here. It could symbolize that she's so focused in her work and trying to make money, trying to make her career successful, trying to work in maintaining her material possessions in such a way that she's so focused in her work and she's so serious that she's not really moving forward. She's not really going anywhere because she's so busy with this cycle of work. So that could explain why the Four of Pentacles is here, if it's not related to what I said of her fearing like losing her job all of a sudden. Which, I mean, I still find it kind of crazy that she will think like that, because again, she's still very early on in her career years. But let's move these cards out of the way. Let's enter into her career and see what's going on there. So let's see what's going on with Kazuha's career. I'll take the top card. Actually, I think I can take all of them. Let's go. We have Magic with Alchemy. We have Lake with Depth. We have Inner Core with Solidity. Okay. And the other oracle card that we have here is a last quarter moon in Aries with Walk Through Your Feelings. So, let's see. With Lake and Inner Core, as well as this Walk Through Your Feelings, I do feel that in her career, one of the things that she's doing is that she is neglecting a part of herself, which is her emotions. She is neglecting a subconscious thing within her that may be asking her to be confident, that is asking her to find a sense of stability or like grounding herself. Like, I do feel that she kind of feels like she's on her own, or she may feel like she has to always move forward, like this very fiery energy of like getting things done, or maybe like even an earth one, but in an unhealthy way. Now, the way that I mean by that is like when you have earth energy, it's very stable, it's grounded, it's planned and disciplined towards achieving their goal. But when you have an unhealthy earth, then you have a very nervous energy of trying to achieve something at all costs, and in a way their discipline is not one that is healthy. It is one that is not only stressful but also not taking into consideration the limitations of their body and of their time. So I do feel that in this case she is working very hard in her career, but she's forgetting some of the other things that are necessary to having a successful career. So with the magic, we have alchemy, the ability to create something. And I was thinking of the magician in tarot, which usually talks about someone that has all the skills, knowledge, and materials at their disposal to create something and manifest something into their life. So with this card right here, I do feel that she has the ability to create a successful career and to do well in her career, in the sense of having good projects and making sure that they work out for her. But she may not realize this because she may need to do a little bit of like this in-depth analysis of who she is as a person, and in a way that will help her notice what her strengths are and what her skills are and what she's very good at. So we have the lake here with depth, so I do feel that, and I just noticed that these cards are like aligned. if she were to look deep within herself and do like the things that I just mentioned of like getting, like noticing what she's good at, she will also be able to get in touch with her feelings and get a better idea of what is it that's stressing her out, what are her doubts and worries that hold her back, and what are the fears that make her hesitate when moving forward and taking action in her career. Because I do feel that some of the worries that she have are unfounded somehow, and I'm saying that because when we got to her current energy, I was talking about things that I was like, it doesn't really make sense why she will be worried about these things. I'm not saying that is not something that could not happen. I'm just saying that it's not really likely. So unless she has been experiencing things that could hint, like for example that she will lose her job or something, then I don't see what's the point of worrying about it. The other thing that we have here with the inner core, I was also thinking of like, when I see the lake in the inner core, I'm thinking of like the high priestess, which now that I mention it, the magician is number 1 and the high priestess is number 2 in tarot. They're major arcana cards. So I do feel that in her career, one of the things that she's working on is also untapping. It's like connecting to her subconscious to get a better idea of not only her strengths or like her untapped potential, but also to get a better idea of like how to work with those fears, with that unknown, with all of those things that kind of make her overthink her path, that like the path that she's currently on. Those things, if she were able to work on that and understand that side of herself that may not be that obvious to others, she will be able to create this solid foundation for her where she will be able to face the unknown and have the courage to do that. Not because she like got rid of her fears, but more along those lines that even if it's scary, she trusts that she has the skills and the knowledge necessary to overcome any unexpected thing that she encounters in her path. So I think that like that's the main reason why in her career it will be beneficial for her to do this in-depth analysis of who she is. Because I think that will also give her like a good idea of like what she even wants out of her career. And then that will make it easier to digest if something works out or if it doesn't work out. And being able to like discern what is the outside expectations that people have on me and what is it that I expect for myself. Because then that will make it easier to be like, that's their baggage, that's their expectations, and then this is what I want and this is what I desire. This is the outcome that I'm aiming for. And having that type of mentality will make it easier for her to work through her career, because then she will be able to figure out what success really means to her and what it looks like to her. And that could actually help her not overthink things so much, because then she will not be influenced by this outside expectations or thoughts that could get in the way of her having like a calm experience. Because her career will still be challenging. It's just that I think right now she's a little bit overwhelmed. So let's take out some tarot to get just a little bit more details about her career. Oh, that kind of hurt my ears. So we have the Emperor reverse and the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, so with the Emperor reverse, we have someone that doesn't feel stable, because the Emperor is the 4th card, which talks about stability in tarot. And also, the Emperor is supposed to show someone that is ready to take action. Like, at the moment, they're not. They're kind of just meditating, sitting still, and kind of like just feeling the vibes and, in a way, observing the situation, right? But at all times, the Emperor is ready to take action. The Emperor is usually connected to Aries energy. So to me, this feels like a very mature Aries energy. Is the ability to go for their impulses, just take action when they feel like it. Not in the sense of like feeling like it, as in like when they desire something, they go for it. So there's no hesitation. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But it's not necessarily reckless. It's still, I mean, an Aries doesn't necessarily plan their life or anything like that. But when you have a very mature Aries energy, or like one that kind of knows how to work with that like impulse and that passion that they have within them, you do have someone that knows when, like they know how to pick their battles, right? They know when to take action and when to be like, nah, I'm just creating trouble for no reason. So with this Emperor reverse, I do feel that Kazuha's goal in her career is to become that energy that I just described. Knowing when to take action. Feeling stable in stillness. If that makes sense. It's like not fearing silence. Not fearing that when nothing's going on, or like when things feel stagnant, like there's nothing wrong. Like that's still okay. It's a natural stage of life, if that makes sense. Like I think the calm before the storm could be something that makes her very uneasy, like with this Ten of Swords. So with this Emperor reverse, is like feeling comfortable with silence and feeling comfortable with nothing's going on, and seeing that actually as a time to just mentally or physically or just prepare, like through skills and knowledge, to take action when it's the right time. But then we have the Six of Pentacles, which is a very good card to have for her career, because the Six of Pentacles talks to me has always been like an equal give and take relationship. And relationship in this case, I don't necessarily mean people. I just mean the connection between two things. Also, the Six of Pentacles talks about good fortune. Here we have like all of this money being poured into like this flower. So it definitely feels like in her career, she will eventually reach a point, or at the moment it is like this. It's just, it might take her a while to realize that she's in this state, which is the ability to put energy and effort into a project and it will succeed. It will grow. It will bear fruit, right? The thing is that the Six of Pentacles is like investing time and money into it. And the card that goes after is the Seven of Pentacles, which talks about just waiting for things to yield results. I don't know why that word kind of came up. That's not really how I speak. But like eventually, like the work that she put in will take a little bit more of time, but it will give results. Good or bad, it will. Right? So I've done it twice. I've talked about the card that goes after. So I do feel that she's in this transitional stage of her life. Like if she's overthinking something and worried about something, it will not be for too long. But I do feel that this is a constant cycle that she goes through. So it is something that she definitely has to work through for sure. Now let's get into her love life. What is going on with Kazuha's love life? We have fire with ignition. We have full moon in Taurus with detoxify, and we have full moon in Gemini with embrace the flow of life. Okay, when I saw ignition, or like when I saw this fire card at first, I thought of someone that is like a spark, so maybe something is starting in her love life. But now that I see the other two cards that we have right here, I do feel that her love life may not be connected to romantic relationships, but more about, this is like internal love, self-care, all of those things, which again, this is a very common thing that I got for younger groups. So I'm glad, well, this year I did work on a group that was a bit older, so maybe that's why I didn't get it as often. But this is something that I usually get for, like, that's the pattern I've noticed when I do an individual reading for a young group, like a group that doesn't have that long in their career. I'm not saying young as like the person itself is young, but their career has barely taken off or is barely starting. Usually their love life is more concentrated on themselves as like people just growing up and feeling confident. So I'm not surprised this is coming up for her. So with this fire card, I'm feeling this sense of like healing through fire, which is along the lines of like burning everything that doesn't work in our lives and like getting rid of that, and instead having like this healthy spark or fire within us that gives us the ability to stay driven, to stay motivated, to go after our passions, and to stay optimistic and continue moving forward constantly. So she might be that type of individual that needs to always do something and always feel like she's walking or moving towards her goal constantly. So this fire energy kind of shows that she, in her love life, she's in this state where she's trying to find what she loves. She's trying to find what makes her happy. She's trying to connect to that motivation and that drive that she has within her to move forward and get things done. So we have a full moon in Taurus and a full moon in Gemini. Now these two cards, if I remember correctly, will be Scorpio and Sagittarius season, which now that I think about it, that will be now. I don't know when we have a full moon in Taurus, and I don't know when the full moon in Gemini will be, but it will be sometime around this time, like this winter season. So I do feel that in this winter season, she's having like this rebirth, maybe not rebirth, but she's having like this healing moment where she's letting go of things that do not work for her, like her overthinking and her feelings of stagnations and just worries and doubts. And slowly she's understanding how life works. She's understanding that if things are slowing down, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If she's not moving, like, or she's not going towards her goals, or she may feel like that, it does not mean that she's not accomplishing anything. If, like, it's just understanding that her doubts are not something that she has to be too hung up with. Understanding how life just kind of flows and works, so like that she doesn't feel overwhelmed or hold on, I got distracted. Now that I mentioned that, maybe it's like, you know, understanding how life works in order for her to not feel distracted by her overthinking, her fears, her need to have everything organized, her need to going according to plan. Maybe she has this thing where like she likes to make a plan and go through, and like she has like a time schedule of like in 3 weeks I should have this done, in this week I should have this done, today I'm gonna have all of these things done. So if she's very strict with herself, in that case it could be a bit overwhelming if something doesn't happen within the time that she set for herself. So it's kind of like being a little bit more flexible in that sense. Also with Taurus energy, the one thing that I've noticed about Taurus energy is like Taurus is very good at setting boundaries. They're very good at saying like, this is what I want, this is what I need, and either you have it or you don't. So I do think that in her love life, we're focusing or like shifting into this confident, stable, grounded self of herself that is able to take action, feel happy, and stay motivated, but also having healthy boundaries to not allow other people, other ideas, or even her own doubts and fears and her limiting beliefs to get in the way of what she's aiming for in life, to not get in the way of discouraging her, to not get in the way of her motivations and just doing things in life, going places. And now with this Gemini energy, is kind of like also having the ability to have like this grounded, balanced self within her. One that is able to just take action and get things done, and then the other that's able to stay calm, patient, and stable when things are not moving forward. Something along those lines. But let's get a little bit more information about her love life. Perfect. So we have the Ace of Cups reversed, and we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. I did think of the Eight of Pentacles when I was talking about the Six of Pentacles, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised it popped up. So with the Ace of Cups, we usually have a new beginning. We have someone that is emotionally connected to themselves, a bit more intuitive, a bit more into their creativity. It could also talk about romance coming in. But with it being reversed, I do feel that she is in that transitional stage, so she hasn't really quite reached that new beginning or that new state of her life or new phase. She's a bit more in like, she should eventually expect that in the future. She's still in this 10 of Swords type of vibe, overthinking, fears, but eventually she will reach this point where she gets to know herself so well that she's able to work with her heart, she's able to work with her emotions. When she feels fears and doubts or all that negativity, she knows how to overcome it. Not necessarily by being like, oh, let me push this emotion out of the way, but more like, okay, why am I afraid of this? Why am I worried about this? Why do I doubt this? And then being able to like come into a solution to those problems. Also, with the Ace of Cups, I think this card is reversed because she hasn't quite opened up her heart, but that's the goal. She will eventually get there, and the best way that she can reach that is by doing like this in-depth analysis of herself as a person. Now with the Eight of Pentacles, usually this card talks about someone that's very hardworking, someone that is perfecting their craft and their knowledge of those skills. And with it being reversed, I do feel that she is someone that needs to kind of take a break from her work, needs to kind of calm down a little bit. And instead of constantly pushing forward in her job, it will be better for her to slow down a little bit, to reestablish, I guess so, to, in a way, ground herself and create this foundation, which I mentioned earlier, about getting to know what she's good at and what skills she should be like working on and developing. So I do feel that this is kind of like taking less energy into just doing stuff for her work, so like that she can concentrate more on perfecting her skills, so like that she builds this confidence within her again. It's kind of like creating these building blocks or obtaining these tools, which are skills, to later use them to build the type of future that she wants for herself, and being able to work and overcome any sort of obstacle and journey that she will eventually encounter in her life. Maybe in her career, maybe in any sort of personal goals that she has in life. It could even be related to her love life. Whatever journey she eventually embarks and jumps into the unknown, she will encounter an obstacle. So if she gets to know herself better, to work through her emotions whenever she feels anything negative, and also being able to work on those skills that will eventually help her have the tools necessary when encountering any sort of problem or conflict. I was going to say adversity, but I'm not too sure if I'm using the right word in that case. Now, to wrap up Kazuha's reading, let's jump into the last section of her video, which is her healing messages. So let's figure out if anything that has to be said to her, any healing messages for Kazuha. Let's see. The first card that we have out is the Bobcat Spirit with Life is a Mystery. So this kind of makes me think back to the Gemini card, which is like embracing the flow of life. Is just kind of understanding that she's not going to have all the answers, understanding that she will not always feel comfortable, and the discomfort is just a way of her to grow as a person, as an individual. It's part of life. It's like how we kind of get out of our shell and like embark into new journeys that help us grow, and also kind of help us notice that there's something better out there for us. It's kind of like understanding that when we take a risk in life, it's not always damaging, it's not a punishment, it's not even if it's scary, there's rewards behind that, right? It's like sometimes the discomfort that we feel in our comfort is just a sign that we kind of have to move forward because there's greater things out there for us. It's kind of like when you have overgrown the space that you're in. So the Life is a Mystery thing is just kind of like being unafraid of the unknown, helping her understand the bigger picture, helping her understand to not take things, I was gonna say take things personally, but I mean that in a way where like take things in such a way that it stresses her out, or like overthinking and stuff. So 2 cards, and never mind, a bunch of cards fell. And we have 2 cards, so that's perfect. So the first card that we have, oh okay, it had to come out. When I was shuffling them, this card was kind of like trying to get out, but it didn't. We have the Peacock Spirit reverse with Let It Shine. And we have the Hummingbird Spirit reverse with Be Here Now. So right now that I said Let It Shine, I thought of the bridge part of the Red Velvet song For Happiness. Is like, you know, shine on me, let it shine on me. So I was thinking of those words because I think it's relevant, since I mentioned something similar when the Strength card came up, that maybe she's a bit afraid of being in the spotlight. She's afraid of being seen. She's afraid of people looking at her. And I don't think it's necessarily that she dislikes being under the spotlight, but I do feel that she feels a bit uncomfortable being under it because she feels like she may be lacking the skills, or she may be lacking the confidence somehow. But this is not necessarily like she's not a confident person, and because of that she doesn't, I don't know, that's kind of what I'm saying actually. Right now she feels a bit insecure somehow, and that overthinking is getting to her, that because of that it's affecting her confidence to be under that spotlight. So I don't know if she's shy. Well, even if she is, some people are fine being under the spotlight. I do feel like her biggest issue right now is just that she's not grounded enough to take criticism. She is too in her head, too worried about the what ifs and the could haves, that she is not in her present moment, so she can't really enjoy it. And I do feel like these two birds right here kind of show that she is so overwhelmed that she doesn't feel like she's free. She feels like she can't fly. Well, the peacock doesn't fly. It's a bird though. So I do feel like with her, it's like, again, if she were to work on herself and her emotions, her feelings, then it will make it easier for her to find that confidence once again, to spark the passion in her and the drive and the motivation necessary to overcome any issue and problems that she encounters. May it be in her mind, may it be in her environment, may it be in her obstacles to overcome, and not to overcome, but like to reach those goals. So with this peacock spirit, it's kind of like, if she continues working on herself, then she will not mind having all eyes on her. She will not mind being under the spotlight. And this is something that it will take her a while to get used to, because being confident is not something that someone gets overnight. It is something that people kind of work towards. Some people kind of naturally have it in them to just be like extremely confident and out there. And others, they kind of have to work on that. It's a skill that people don't realize it's necessary to have. We all need it for different areas of our lives, but we all need it. Some, in her case, well, she will need it to be able to handle the pressure of always being seen with the industry that she's in. But other people kind of just need it to just have the courage to do anything in their lives. So this is an important skill for everyone. Now with the hummingbird spirit, hold up, let me put this away. With the hummingbird spirit, with be here now, is a sense of like, usually someone when they're overthinking, they're thinking of the future and visualizing how everything could go wrong. Basically, that's when people start overthinking stuff, right? I could do this, I could do that. Again, as I mentioned, the possibilities are big. They can be intimidating, they can be scary, sometimes they could be good and you're like, oh, I want that. And then other times it could be like, oh, everything could go wrong. I'm not saying she's pessimistic, I just think that she's just worried. But anyway, with this card here, it's kind of showing like one of the best ways to overcome overthinking is by focusing on the present moment. What is it that I'm going through right now? What is it that I'm encountering at the moment? And how am I going to deal with this right now? It's like, instead of thinking of, if I do this today, then how can this affect me tomorrow? It's like, sometimes it's good to think of the actions that can be done right now. I guess the best way I can describe this is like, let's say that in her career or in her life, she's thinking, if I only had this, then I will do that. It's like setting conditions, right? When this happens, then this other thing will happen. And it's not necessarily in the sense of like, just a matter of fact. It's like, if I do this, then this other thing, this will be the outcome. I think this is more of like, if this external thing happens, then it will cause this thing, and only then will I take action. So I do feel that in this case, she's setting herself conditions that are holding her back, and like that becomes very stressful and a bit overwhelming at the moment, because those things are outside of her control. I think it would be better for her to start working on herself to be able to get the knowledge of what it is that she wants out of life and what her goals are, independent of like her, like independent of other people's expectations or maybe even long-term goals, and start focusing a little bit more of like, what is it that she wants to do today? What does she want to do right now? What is within her power at the moment to reach her goal? So if at the moment the best thing she can do is prepare, learn, and improve, that's perfectly fine. That is still working towards her goal. If what she can do right now is accept a project and move forward, then that's also good. She should go for it. Also, I wanted to mention that we have number 8 right here and here. So there's this sense of like, there's infinite possibilities. There's a bunch of paths that she can take. And it could be overwhelming to pick and choose a path to go through. But at the same time, she doesn't, if she's flexible enough, then she will understand that she can pick a path, go through with it, and if she doesn't like it, she can always drop it and go a different path, right? There is a thing of like, she doesn't have to stick to one thing. If she doesn't like it, she can always like leave it behind and work on something else. She can modify it. She can adapt to it. She can improve it. She can always move things around, because that's part of like all of the possibilities, right? She can take one path, see how she feels about it, and if she likes it, she can continue down that path, and if she doesn't like it, she can always leave it behind. And I do feel that is, so if she were to think like that, she will realize the power that she has as an individual, the power of choice. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really, really wish that she will just get to know herself a bit better. I don't think this is necessarily something that she will need to take like a break from, like a long break. I think this is just kind of like reflecting on herself a bit more, what her motivations are, how she works as a person, and then what are the things that she can work on right now that is within her power to reach the goals that she has in mind. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.